to talk about is the Analyst. And this one, the summarizer, I know that you're all very familiar with summarizing. To some degree, you are familiar with analyzing text as well. But what I'm asking you to do here is a little different, and it's quite complex, right? So just as a reminder, you're going to use the framework that was introduced earlier in the course. And as we've talked about before, depending on kind of which lens you use, writing can look very, very different. We want to make sure that we're thinking about social culture and critical approaches to writing, as well as using process approaches and cognitive approaches. I've given you in the framework ways to think about genre, grammar and language, and technology and digital media, etc. So as a text, one reason why this role is so important is because it's going to be such an important role to you as a teacher, right? You need to be able to take the assessments and the materials and the readings, all the resources that you might use in the classroom, and to be able to critically analyze them, to be able to say, hey, this book pays no attention to students' agency in writing. This is not something I want to use. Or this, I really like the way that this book shows me a really good process approach to writing, but how could I adapt it to be more critical in its approach? So one of your really important roles as a teacher is to critically analyze resources for your classroom. So that's one of the reasons why this role is so, so important. And you're also going to be analyzing the text based on the framework and then writing a paragraph to reimagine something from the text. So I want to show you a couple of examples, two ways that two different people have approached this task. So Hannah, one way to do this, and I thought this worked well, was to take each of the different components on the framework, like genre, grammar and language, technology, audience agency and participation, and then to find specific examples from the text that work from this approach. And to say, from a genre approach, it was very cognitive, and then to actually provide specific examples with page numbers to support your understanding of this. So that was one way to do it, and then to write the paragraph. I think you could be even more detailed in finding examples, but this was a really good way to start this. So that would be one way that you could approach doing the analyst role. And then Anna did it a little bit differently, and I think this can work too. I would definitely suggest maybe spacing it out on 2 or 3 slides and adding a little bit more detail. But the way that she did it was by chapter. So she looked at the chapter and then, talked about what she noticed in terms of the chapter, of the different approaches that we used in the chapter. And she also provided specific examples. So it's really important to provide specific examples. And then when you are writing your paragraph reimagining, I would take like a slide to do this. And really think in detail, like describe what you would change in detail. But again, there's a couple of examples of the text analyst role. And I hope that you won't just think about this for this assignment, for this project, but you will really take this into your classroom, that part of your role as a professional is to look at texts and to to critically analyze them, and to design curriculum with your students, not just to follow whatever's been given to you. Okay, thank you.